Hello, I am Janell Fowler, Senior Ruby Ambassador, here with Amanda Schaeffer, my sister, Senior Ruby Ambassador. We're going to do our recap of convention as well as the awesome changes happening for Australia or international teams everywhere. So why don't you kick us off, Amanda?
All right, perfect. So first thing I want to talk about is what our goals are for tonight. First thing we want to do is share a little bit more about some of the new products that Plexus introduced during the convention. Also want to share something that they've developed for us for sales tools and have you get more knowledgeable and comfortable with using some of these new shareables that they have for the new products. We want to talk about how your personal development activities are about to be rocked by some of the new things that they're introducing. Learn a little bit more about what this consistency club is and how you can join it.
Yes.
Figure out how you can earn and attend Leaders Retreat in Texas in October. Also hear from Janell and I about some of our favorite learnings and quotes of the convention. Hear specifically about what new and awesome stuff is coming up specifically for Australia, and then also answer any questions that you might have about our week there. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to kick it off talking a little bit about the new products. So most of you have actually already heard or have already started posting or any of those things about the new product Edge. And the great news is that they've actually given us the ability to share specific things about Edge. You'll actually notice that, here I have it behind me, on the bottle, it actually has all of these great claims that you can actually put out there in social media, you can share anywhere. So the nice part about that is that you don't have to worry about what's compliant, what's not compliant. You actually have it right on the bottle and as part of some of these assets, which I'll show you in a minute, that you can use to share. So awesome product. I know I've tried it already. Janell, I think you've tried it as well. I really like it. It's great for natural energy. I feel like I'm going all day long and I'm not feeling tired. I'm feeling really focused. I'm feeling like I'm sharp and I'm not crashing like in the afternoons or feeling as much like I have to have a nap. The cool part about this is that it's a great replacement for energy drinks, for people who drink energy drinks, people who drink a ton of coffee. I know that Bill's going to be using this because right now, afternoons, he still drinks his coffee despite the fact that he has his pink drink. So something that I think is going to be a huge, huge game changer. For me personally, I am reaching out to people who in the past have said that they're healthy, have said that they're not interested in really improving their gut health, have said that they're not interested in spending as much potentially as the pink drink costs. This product for an ambassador is only $26.50 US. So something to keep in mind is that I'm actually going to be going back to a lot of my either previous customers who are no longer ordering because they couldn't afford it, people who maybe dropped it because they didn't think that they were really seeing the results, people who weren't even interested because they were like, I'm already healthy, I'm already doing my stuff, why do I need another, why do I need this product? This is going to be awesome. Plus, personally, I think that the biggest audience for this is our guys, right? The guys who are not willing to clean up their guts, actually get healthy, actually do what they're supposed to do, and us wives can only do so much. So I think that this is going to be huge for that. So that's kind of the group I'm going after, and I think it's amazing stuff. Keep in mind, this is 90 milligrams of caffeine. That's about the equivalent of what's in a cup of coffee. And the cool part about it is number one, it's natural caffeine, so it's nothing crazy. And the other two ingredients that are in this, you guys, 3 ingredients. That's crazy, right? The other 2 ingredients keep down the effects that you sometimes see from caffeine. So you're not going to be like, ooh, shaking out, going jittery, all of those things. It's going to be great for that. So also, I know, Janell, we've already talked about it's not recommended for nursing and pregnant moms. But if you're already someone who's drinking a ton of coffee along with nursing, along with all those things, you're talking about just doing a really thoughtful investigation as far as if you want to pursue that. Again, like these are items that we can actually share, actually talk about the product. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is how they have reformulated block. So I don't know about anyone on the call that has actually tried block before, but the biggest challenge with block is that you had to take it 30 minutes before you were going to eat for it to be effective. Okay, I don't know about you, but number one, like I never know when it's half an hour before I eat. I have no idea. When am I going to eat? No idea. But also, I don't know if any of you ever took it and then you're sitting there like watching your watch like, all right, I can't eat yet, more time. So this now, what they've done is they have created it with a fast dissolving capsule. So as soon as you take it, it's effective. So there's no more waiting half an hour. There's no more waiting. I mean, I honestly think this is going to be huge for us because you're talking about blocking 48% of your absorbed like carbs and sugars like that you're eating and that you're consuming. It's also something that can help people who have a problem maintaining their blood sugar. Also helps when you're talking about managing weight. I think for our sister, Janell's my sister, this has been one of her big catalysts for losing weight over this last year is taking block because believe me when I tell you that no matter how much we try to convince her, she's never going to stop eating carbs. Never. Or sugar or any of those other things. So this for her has been a game changer. And she's going to see even better results now that she doesn't have to wait for that half an hour. So be keeping this in mind when you're thinking about your customers, right? Who in your current customer list, former customer list, potentials for ambassadors or customers would really benefit from something like this, right? They're not willing to change their behaviors. This is a perfect product for them because they can add this in. Janell, I will tell you, if you're around her, she is like a block pusher. She will make sure everybody at the table has their block before you eat.
It's true. I even got a non-customer to have some too because she was out to Cheesecake Factory with us. Everyone else was having, so I didn't want to be rude and not awkward.
The great part about this, you guys, is the girl just took it. She swallowed it down whole, didn't even ask what it was. So Janell is very effective at marketing this particular product. She can get anyone to take it. But this is something huge that you guys can then communicate. And I wanted to show you, let me just jump. I'm going to have to stop sharing real quick and then reshare. But the great part about this is that they have given us some amazing assets. And I will tell you, one of the pieces that I love the most about convention is that Plexus has brought in some absolutely phenomenal leaders within the company. They have a new VP of sales. They have a new CMO. That's a chief marketing officer. They are bringing in some amazing people with these amazing skills, and they are sharing that with us. And they are creating all of these great things that we can use to help grow our businesses and no longer have the challenge of what's compliant, what's not compliant. Now, they've started off with creating these assets for these 2 new products. I'm anticipating that over the next, I have no idea how long, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, that they'll go back and they'll start adding all of these types of shareable information, digital brochures, images, different wording that we can use for all sorts of different products within our line. So kind of keep that in mind that although this is what's available now, start using it so that as other products become available in this way, that you'll be able to be experienced with sharing them and using these assets to share. So let me show you real quick. So what you're going to do first is you're actually going to log into your back office. Let me just log in here. Oh, I'm already logged in. Oh, and Janell, I'm logged in as you.
I was like, those are my customers.
You know what? Facebook can't tell us apart. We can't tell us apart. It's okay. Yeah. So what you're going to do is along the top of your back office is you're going to actually have a little tab called Tools. Underneath that, you have something called Shareables. You're just going to click on that, and that's actually going to take you to another site. And I'm just trying to make sure it comes up. Hold on one second. It's hiding from me. Okay, Okay, maybe it doesn't like Internet Explorer.
No one does, just so you know.
I don't even know that Microsoft really loves Internet Explorer. I think a lot of people, when I was working out there, actually use Chrome, but don't tell. All right, so sharing again, different program this time. All right, so here you have a bunch of different shareable medias, and you have it by different products. And what I'm assuming is as they continue adding different products to the list, these are going to continue coming up. So you can actually click on block and see what types of materials it has available. So you've got product videos, you've got animated GIFs that you can actually post. And the coolest part is you can share them. You can share them on Facebook, you can share them on Twitter, Pinterest, or even email them. And they actually then at the bottom have a great thing. So they have digital brochures, they have different images that you can use. And then at the bottom, they actually have downloadable documents that will talk to you specifically about how to use these different assets to share. So it will tell you different, what are those things called? Hashtags that you can use for each of the different products. It will tell you, like give you examples of how to use the different assets to share. So maybe first thing you do is you share a video with someone, and then you share the digital brochure. And then maybe you follow up and you give them the science behind block because they're really interested in it and they're green, right? And they want all the info. So kind of be thinking about that as you're looking at these new products with how can I use these great things that Plexus has developed for us and share those out. And you can look at these documents and it'll actually walk you through like a scenario of how do you share? How do you get it out there? So I absolutely love this because I think that this is something that as number one for these two products, awesome to start with. And then as they continue expanding that library, we're going to be able to use those and be 100% confident when we put them out there that nobody's going to be able to come back and say, hey, those aren't compliant. Hey, why are you using those? Well, guess what? I got them from your shareable site.
The other thing I want to mention though is when you share from the shareables, it links back to your website.
Yeah, great point.
You see that Amanda, she just shared an Edge video the other day. You don't want to copy that link because it's going to...
Or share that link.
Yes, it's going to send them to Amanda's website and you will have lost your customer direct line. So
I'm cool with that. I mean, everyone should actually just keep sharing mine.
So, that's something to keep in mind. You'll have to hop into your own back office. And even if you save some of the links into your notes section, it can save you time, especially when you're out and about, is what I would recommend, because then you have it kind of on hand versus always having to log in, open the shareables, etc. So,
and keep in mind, guys, you can use the text that someone puts above the video, right? You can use the information that they put it. Just do not share the link that they've shared with you because then you will be actually sharing out the other person's website. Kathy?
Kathy.
I noticed today I was copying, like I went to, I'm getting ready to do a three-way Zoom with another ambassador. And so I went to copy and paste some of just the information from the shopping site. When I did that, it added at the bottom my link just from copying verbiage. So you really
Good to know.
Be careful when you use that. My question to you guys is though, and one of the concerns my personal team has is, how do we share those without being salesy? You guys have any tips?
I think that the big thing when I was looking at that, Kathy, because I agree with you, especially because underneath that image at the bottom it says like shop.myplexus. So it seems very shoppy to me. Number one, I'm not planning on using them a lot, right? So I'm talking about using them occasionally, but not a ton. And then always making sure that above the video, above the image, above whatever I put out there, that I'm personalizing it for me. So making it like, how am I relating this back? How am I making sure to say my name, Janell's name, Bill's name, something that lets people know that this isn't just like some material that I copied from a website and posted there. This is actually the reason that I wanted to share this with you. And therefore, it's making it a lot more personal versus salesy. And I think everyone's going to have to do that, because otherwise you're right, especially for people who have multiple friends that do Plexus. And you don't want to have the same message flashed up above every single time someone sees it. And then they're like, well, obviously Amanda didn't put a lot of time into that because it looks exactly the same as 5 other people that I saw before. Versus if I'm saying like, hey, here's how it's affected me. Here's what I'm excited about it. Here's exactly how I'm planning on using this. I think that gives it that personalized view of it. And then you still use the asset that is, you know, corporate available. But it gives you that personalized touch for that particular post. So that's the only way I'm planning on using it, Kathy. All right, perfect. So let's jump back into the presentation because Janell is going to share with us. She is going to talk a little bit about what is coming up from a personal development perspective.
So one of the things that at convention they announced is about our personal development and offering us success online. Now, if you listen to Melissa's trainings, if you listen to any Diamond, go to convention, anywhere, they will talk about personal development and how that is imperative for your success within the business. So like Kayla, I know you're reading Go Pro. That's your personal development. You're growing yourself to have better and more knowledge. Every single one of us, leaders included, need to be doing this. So they've recognized that, and what they are going to be giving us, is it available yet? I don't think it is.
It's not available yet. I think Sarah said that they're going to be rolling it out. They were hoping within the next couple of weeks after they got back and settled from convention. So I would anticipate, since everyone's going to need like a special access, that it might take a little while for them to get it together.
So, but at least with this, what we get is access to books online. They are also going to have a monthly, like, I am not good at this section.
No. So it's like a monthly, like a monthly recommended curriculum.
Yes.
So although you can access all of the assets, so I was thinking people here may not know, Success is actually a special magazine that's developed, I would say it's for direct sales primarily. And it's a great magazine that gets produced. Now, what they have done is they've expanded their business and they've put together this whole online like information about personal development. So tons of information about how to grow your business, how you can grow yourself, how you can grow your leadership, things about well-being. Like there's a ton of information on this site. So because it can be a little overwhelming because there's a lot there, is what they're going to do is that the Marianne Luciano, who is the VP of like education and things like that, they're going to put together like a recommended set of, hey, Plexus ambassadors, at a minimum, here's a bunch of stuff to take a look at for this particular month. And that's going to be awesome, you guys, because that means that number one, it's going to be very clear for everyone out there as far as what you should look at, what you should be studying, what you should be working on. And guess what? A ton of other Plexus ambassadors are going to be doing the same thing. So it's a great way for you to take a look with your teams, with some of your sidelines or power partners and say, hey, look at this great stuff that's coming up on Success Online this month. Why don't we work on this particular part together? Or let's both read through this and then have a discussion afterwards. I know Janell and I are absolutely going to be putting together some sessions based on their recommendations and saying, all right, guess what? Instead of spending, this is crazy. So John Maxwell is one of the authors who's available on the site. And he wrote this amazing, amazing book, which I have somewhere. And it's called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That book, if you buy that book, and minimum that you're going to spend on it is around $22 for one copy of the book. We're going to be able to get access to those books, either reading them, audio, a ton of other materials, probably even access to the workbooks, and have access to that for absolute free. And that's the part I'm so excited about. I will tell you guys, even at some of the companies I mean, huge corporate companies I worked for in the past, they didn't even give us these types of assets to use to grow ourselves. And that's why I'm super, super excited about it.
I also love, because I know a lot of us here in Australia, we're pretty country. So the audiobooks is going to be a fabulous addition to my morning school run. Because if I have 15 minutes, yeah, I usually listen to a YouTube, but if I can save on my data, then I'm going to go with the audiobooks and at least do my personal development as well. Sorry, wrong country, my bag. In Australia, if you say purse, they bring you your wallet. And so you have to say bag, your handbag. All right.
All right.
So yes, that's great.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so in the next few weeks, I would anticipate that you're going to be getting more information about this, and you'll be getting probably a personalized username and password to access it. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Now, you might have heard this thing or seen the email about this thing called the Consistency Club. Now, this was something that the new VP of Sales actually introduced, and her name is Sarah. I'm not going to even try to pronounce her last name. And what she's talking about is this is 2 new ways that they are working on helping you grow your business and be very, what I would call, distributed as far as how you're growing your business. So what this rewards is it rewards your personal volume. It also rewards you for keeping customers, and it rewards you for getting new customers. So to be part of the Club 300, you're going to need $300 in personal volume. You need to have 3 existing customers, so that's retail or preferred customers who place an order during the month. Now, I've asked for some clarification on this because I'm not sure of the amount, but from what I understand, it's that if you have a customer, they were with you before this month, and they place an order of any size, they count towards this. And then during that month, you're also going to need to add 1 new customer. And that customer will have had to place an order also during that month. So already be thinking of this, okay, how am I going to get to be part of this club? The next club is Club 500. Now, at this level, you're looking for $500 PV. Now, all of you should already be aiming for that, because when you get to $500 PV, that's when you start getting 25% commission for anything above that $100 PV. So no matter what, everyone should already be going for the $500 or the Club 500, because you're going to want to get that $500 PV. But the other parts of that is you're going to want to have 5 existing customers that place an order during that month. And you're going to be adding 3 new customers who are also going to place an order during that month. And then you will be Club 500 qualified. Now you might say, okay, so Amanda, I'm going to do all this stuff, but what does that mean? So there's a couple of different levels of benefits is what I would call them. One is some are one-time, some are monthly, some are actually annually and getting recognized next year at convention. So first thing is that the first time that you hit it, you're actually going to get a custom design certificate when you get to that club, and it's going to be signed by Charles and Alec Clark. You're also going to, every single month that you achieve this, either Club 300 or Club 500, you're going to be getting an email recognizing that. You'll also get access to shareable social media graphics. So that means that, you know, it's interesting because I know that for Janell and I were like, well, I don't know that that's something that is that, okay, what am I going to do with that if I have a shareable graphic about it? Well, guess what? There are so many people out there that want to see how you're actually doing in this business, how successful you're actually being in this business. And if you're able to post on social media that you actually made Club 300 or Club 500 for a specific month, I think that's actually going to be a really big thing, especially for those red types of personalities out there that really want to be competitive, right? And they're like, I could make that. Like, I could do Club 500 every month. Like, I could absolutely achieve that. So that's something you're going to want to post out there and let everyone know that, hey, for the 3rd time this year, I'm Club 500, or for the 15th time, I'm Club 300, whatever it is. Also, you're going to have different points along the year that as you achieve each of those different clubs, that you're going to get recognized in different ways. And I'm not sure what they are yet. I'm not sure that they know what they are yet, but there's going to be different ways along the path that you're going to get recognized. So the other thing is that at convention next year, so that's June of next year, and this contest is going to run from June 1st through March 31st. And if you qualify for Club 300 or Club 500, 8 out of the 10 months, you're actually going to be able to, number one, get recognition at the convention. And number two, you're going to get a special personalized or custom designed gift depending on which you get. If you get 8 out of 10 months in Club 300, you're going to get a Padfolio. And I think what that means is just like a leather folder for your stuff. It's going to say Consistency Club 300 on it. If you get 8 out of 10 months with Club 500, you're actually going to get a custom co-branded with Plexus and Consistency Club rustic cuff. That's for the women because it's kind of girly and cute and adorable. Or if you're a guy, you're going to get a co-branded leather wristband that actually look pretty cool as well. So that's something that for those of us who have already signed up our spouses, that's something that we can be working towards for them too, right? It's going to give them the ability to really show off Plexus plus the Consistency Club and the fact that you were consistent throughout the year in meeting these clubs. So that's a little bit more information about that. I'm sure over the next few weeks and months, we'll be getting a ton more info. Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed in our back office, but they've already started kind of creating a little bit of a report that's going to show up on a monthly basis that talks about like how close are you to making it? How many months have you made it? Where are you at from a PV perspective? Where are you at for new customers or existing customers? And I have to go get my Sheltie now because she's upset for being left alone.
We'll turn the page and I'll keep going.
Now I will let you talk about Leaders Retreat.
Okay, I'm going to mute you. All right, so Leaders Retreat is something I am beyond excited about. Not only is it because I get to go to America for the 3rd time this year, it's in Texas, which I love, but Leaders Retreat was the very first Plexus event I ever went to that I didn't hold and host. I went last October to Washington, D.C., and it was phenomenal. Now, you think, oh, I'm not sure I can qualify. I'm not sure I can get there. You can, and you will, because I was able to do it having only been in the business for 4 months, and I was able to qualify, and I went. So we want you there with us. We want you working towards that 750 credits to get there. Now, what does that mean? Well, there's different ways that you can earn credits, but the only people who can attend Leaders Retreat are those who qualify. Versus convention, you just pay the $80 or $100 and anyone can go. This one, it's the top of the company who work hard and try and earn their spot there. And I think it's a really good place for you to plan to go to because these events are where leaders are born. These events are where you get your momentum. These events are what I think really breathe life back into you, especially us here in Australia. We don't have many corporate events. This is something I want each of you to work towards. So, Amanda, do you want to go through?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So, first thing I want to do is talk a little bit about, okay, so wait, like what are the rules for the Leaders Retreat contest? So let's talk about that. So what you're talking about is any new ambassador that you have that signs up with a welcome pack. And that's really important because you want to make sure that as you're signing people up, number one, you should definitely be signing them up with a welcome pack. But this is yet another reason that they should be signing up with a welcome pack. Everyone in your levels 1 through 4 that sign during this period, now it started on June 1st, it's going through the end of August. Every single one of those people you sign or your team signs for those first 4 levels, you're going to get 10 credits for. Now, same thing, if you sponsor a new retail or a preferred customer, as long as they order over $50 PV, you're also going to get 10 points. And then every month, at the end of your month, you're going to get points for the PV level that you achieve. So anywhere between $200 and $500, you're going to get about 20 points. For between $500, which we were all going to achieve anyway, right? You're anywhere through 1,000 points, you're going to get 75 points. Anything above 1,000 to 2,500, around 150 points. And then if you are working miracles in your business and you're getting above $2,500 PV, you're going to get 300. So we were asking, well, what does this particular image mean, right? What does this mean? So what this is this is the ways that you can actually make Leaders Retreat. So what I did is I did a little bit of math. So 55, you're going to have $500 PV. During each month, you're going to sign up 15 level 1 through 4 ambassadors. You're going to find 3 new customers that are going to buy over $50 PV. Okay? So, oh, I got to share. 2 seconds. All right. So, each month, you get your $500 PV. That's going to give you 75 points for that month. Then you have 15 level 1 through 4. So it's not you personally, it's you plus the next 3 levels. You're going to get 10 points for each of them, right? So that's 150 points. Then you're going to find 3 new customers, which are going to be worth 30 points. That's going to give you 255 points per month. So a total of 765 points. To qualify for Leaders Retreat, you have to have 750 points. So that's going to get you there. Your other option, if potentially your levels 1 through 4 are not signing as many people, is you're going to want to get up to $1,000 PV. That's going to give you 150 points. You're going to sign up at least 5 level 1 through 4s. That's going to give you 50 points. And you're going to sign up 5 new customers. And they're going to be worth 10 points each. So that's 50 points there. So that's 250 per month that you're going to be getting in points, which will give you exactly 750 points. So you will be ready to go to Leaders Retreat. So those are just a couple of different ways that you can earn. Of course, there are a million different combinations. And for you, you just need to be looking at, okay, what are going to be my best ideal ways for me to earn Leaders Retreat? You know, where do I usually excel? Where do I have some challenges as far as growth right now? Am I great at signing up customers? Am I great at signing up ambassadors? Do I always have a really high PV? Like, where are you going to focus to be able to get these points and get there? Now, anything above that 750 credits is amazing. And you can see there's all sorts of different things that you can earn depending on how far above that 750 you go, right? So 900 credits is going to give you some money. 1,350 credits, you're going to get a private reception, you know, and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of other awards. So something to Janell's point, this is an amazing event. It's a lot of fun. And the great part about it is, although convention is 12,000 ambassadors from whatever level, who knows, right? They can be anywhere from they just signed up yesterday to they're a diamond. Leaders Retreat is different because guess what? Everybody has to earn their way there. So they tailor the training and make it very applicable to those that are growing their business. They tailor the experiences so that they're really recognizing the amount of work and effort that it takes to come in there. So I would encourage all of you to start putting together your plan of, hey, what is it going to look like for me to be able to get to Leaders Retreat this year? So we've already got, 21 days of June done. Let's figure out what we need to do for the next, 2 months, 9 days so that you can get there. So just something to keep in mind.
What exactly is Leaders Retreat? You might be wondering, because I forget. I didn't have a clue. I just knew I was going to go last October. Plexus pays for your hotel, and you stay at the Gaylord. This is the hotel we'll be staying at on the screen. They'll pay for your rooms the entire time you're there. Amanda and I, there's also a Plexus breakfast, which was a buffet, and oh my word, like It was unreal and so
Crazy.
much food and amazing. They have training. Everyone there is willing and sharing their knowledge, willing to talk to you. I know we met some amazing diamonds while we were there, who we still talk to. It's building relationships with other people who are growing their businesses. There are also, I think last year we had sightseeing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We didn't go see anything, but
we could have.
But there's different activities that Plexus plans for you. They have dinners, they have trainings, it's just an overall experience that you want to be at, and you are completely spoiled the entire time. So keep that in mind. You're well taken care of the entire time you're there. You can bring a guest if you want, and working towards the different goals is definitely, I think, fabulous. Now, Amanda, which goal are you working towards?
I am working towards, at a minimum, getting the $750 happy cash. So I'm working towards 1,900 credits just in the next 2 months, 9 days.
So maybe Amanda can break down in a thread on Diamond Sisters how she plans to do that, whether it's the 2,500 PV, whether it's how many ambassadors or 1 through 4, etc. I was being advantageous last night in doing the math. If I get the 2,500 PV, I'll have 900 credits, but then I need 310 ambassadors or customers for the shopping suite. But Nordstrom's is my favorite store, so I might put that on there, but 310 is a lot of people. So I'm with Amanda at 1,900, but would love to go for the 4,000. We'll see how this month pans out, I think. So,
and don't feel like it's out of reach. I remember hearing one of the ambassadors, she was a silver, I believe, at the last, like silver gold, and she ended up getting enough credits to be able to go on a shopping spree by the end of August. How incredible is that, right? You're talking to someone that doesn't have a big team yet, that's not like, hey, we're not talking about just diamonds. We're talking about someone who's maybe a gold that was able to then take that and turn it into something big enough to get the shopping spree. So it is not out of this world. Like, I think we should just use the convention around dream on. Like, dream on that this could happen for you. Dream on that this is actually something that you could work towards and is feasible.
Yeah.
But you got to get to work today.
All right. What's next?
All right. So, Janelle, we wanted to talk a little bit about some of our favorite parts. So why don't you go ahead and kick it off?
So, my favorite lady of all times is Rita Davenport. She's pretty phenomenal in the way she speaks, the way she encourages you, and she calls you out, and kind of states it as it is. Things that I think people think and don't necessarily say out loud. She does. And that's cool. One of mine is the more you learn, the more you'll earn. And the ones who get to the top are the ones who talk to the most people. So those two things really stood out for me, and especially with my team and my own business. So am I talking to enough people every day? Am I reaching out to my friends list? Am I reaching out to new buy swap sellers? Am I reaching out to other potentials every single day? And the answer while I sat in my chair was, no, you're not. There are more people you should and can be talking to every single day. The diamonds all sat in the middle of the arena, diamonds, emeralds, and sapphires. And Rita said, the people sitting here on the floor have talked to more people. That's the difference between you and them. So,
and they've heard more no's, right? So that's the part I really liked, and what the diamonds reiterated later is, hey, we talked to more people. That means that we've probably heard more no's than all of you guys combined.
Which is good to keep in perspective. Like, it can be discouraging to hear a no, but these women and some men have pushed forward and continued, even though their mom, their neighbor, their whoever said no. Keep going, guys. It's not no from everyone. It's just no for right now from that one person, because they'll need Plexus soon enough. So the other thing is our senior Ruby training that Amanda and I got to go to. Every rank was broken down into groups, and what I loved about our training was it really focused in a lot on our team culture as well as us as leaders, what our role is and our responsibility for you guys. And I don't know about you, Amanda, but it really spoke to me of how I need to step up as a leader, how I need to grow my own business, but also grow in my personal development, and how I help with the team, how I help you guys grow your businesses, and what that means. But what I really liked is we don't stop learning. We might be senior rubies, they might be diamonds, there's emeralds in training too. We're all still learning, and that is our role. So we don't know everything, Amanda and I. We're learning too. We share what we learn. Y'all can share what you've learned. We probably don't know everything either that you find. But I think at the Senior Ruby training, it really brought home like the different areas that we can grow, Amanda and I as leaders and as your leaders of the Diamond Sisters team. So what is your opinions?
Absolutely, Janelle. And I think that was something that struck both of us, that we're going to be, and I think you guys will see, like a very, very focused effort on our part to work on our team culture, to make sure that we are being consistent on our team pages, that we're encouraging and coaching you guys, that we are absolutely reaching out. And I would love it if all of you would be commenting on the team page, interacting with the team, because guess what? We can't grow a team culture without our team. Yeah. And that's something that's going to be really important to us as we keep moving forward. The other thing I wanted to mention is that when we sat in that training, what they talked a little bit about is that as Senior Ruby ambassadors, so Janelle and I are both Senior Rubies, right? As Senior Ruby ambassadors, we are in the top 0.82% of the company. You guys, that's crazy. Janelle didn't start working this business until May of last year?
Yeah.
I was working it kind of off and on, but I really started working it in May, June as well. And that means that this long, not even a year later, or a little bit more than a year later, we're sitting there in the top 1% of the company. And you guys absolutely can do that too. And it's back to what Janelle said around, guess what? We've just talked to more people. We've had more conversations. We've gotten more no's. We've kept going through that process. The other thing that I really liked about the Ruby and Senior Ruby training was about the coaching aspect. And a lot of you have been able to start coming to our coaching sessions. And anyone out there who hasn't been yet, let us know. We absolutely would love to coach you guys and work through it. Now, you might think coaching, what does that even mean? What does that do? Well, really, this is just a little bit of accountability for you. It's a weekly conversation. It's between 15 and 20 minutes. We're not talking a big dedication of time. And guess what? During those sessions, it's not us talking. It's you talking about what are you wanting to do to help grow your business? What are some of your goals? What are some of the things that you're going to be doing this next week to help grow your business? And how can we help support you in that? So that's something that to keep in mind, that we are there for you. We want to help coach you. We want to help you move your business forward so that you can be successful. One of the things that every single jewel up there, every single non-jewel up there, all of the people talked about was how much this business has changed their families' financial future, changed their lives, changed their health. And that's what we want for all of you. We're not just in this for us. We're in this so that you can achieve your goals. And we're going to do whatever we can from a coaching perspective, from helping with team culture, all of these different things to try to help you move your business forward and realize the potential benefits of this opportunity. So the other thing that I took away, and this was during our main session, so we had Victor Antonio, who is an amazing MC. He did a great job with our event, and he's really great. He has a show that is on here in America. I don't know if it's on in Australia yet, called Life or Debt. And his big thing that he's working with families on is those that are in a significant amount of debt right now and helping them get out of it. But one of the things that he shared that I liked the most is he said, How many times is it that you get into a conversation with someone and they start maybe putting you down or criticizing you being in network marketing, or, you know, telling you they're not sure that you have the talent to be successful? He's like, you should picture on your hand right here, just like what you have on the slide, a big delete button. And every time that you have these conversations with people and they're not believing in you and they're not encouraging and they're negative or any of those things, you're just going to hit delete. And then you're going to move on and you're going to stay focused on your business. You're going to stay focused on what you need to do next. And you're just going to hit delete, forget the conversation happened, forget the comment happened, forget all of those things and move on. And that's something for me to be really vulnerable. I think before I was letting some of that negativity get to me. And from now on, when I have those conversations or when I start going down these negative paths, I'm just going to be hitting delete and saying, you know what? I'm going to stay focused on my business. Because the other thing that we heard consistently over and over and over again, no matter what level the person was, is before they met their greatest level of success, what they all said is that I decided that I was going to be successful. I decided that I was going to be truly committed to this business. I decided that I was going to work on myself and develop the best me, and that was going to be my success. And for all of them, I would say that that was their stepping stone to getting to the next level, to overcoming some of these barriers. I mean, we heard from, her name is Melissa, and she had been at the senior Ruby level for 4 years, you guys. 4 years. I mean, that's an incredible amount of time, right? Janell and I are thinking, I was thinking 4 months was a long time, right? 4 years. But you know what she said? She says, you know, I was happy at Senior Ruby. I wasn't pushing. I hadn't decided that I wanted to be Emerald. She says, when I decided, I was able to make that decision, and I made Emerald in a few months because I decided that I was going to make that move. And I decided that it was important and I committed to it. So that's something for all of you to keep in mind, is that if you want to get to the next level, if you want to keep growing your business, if you want to be successful and change your family's financial future, then you need to decide that you are going to be working this business and you're going to be consistent and you're going to put yourself out there to make that commitment. So that's something that those are a few things that I absolutely love from the sessions.
I agree.
So the other big thing that happened while we were there is that they did some absolutely amazing stuff for the Australians. And I'm going to let Janell talk about it, but I'm telling you, they spoiled the Australians during this trip. Now, keep in mind, there was 11 of them that went, and we're going to blow that out of the water for next year with our team. But here's some of the things that they did just for Australia.
So we got there on Sunday, and Sharon Patton, I believe how you say your last name, is our Australian project manager. She just started in January this year. So this was her first convention with Plexus. And her role is to be taking, I still need that screen up, to be taking, sorry, the TGA. She helps with filtering what's going on in Australia, our website issues. She's who I correspond with almost the majority of the time. Now, she took all 11 of us from Australia to dinner on Sunday night to Wolfgang Puck's restaurant, which was phenomenal. We had our own room. It was like a glass room with a bunch of wine bottles everywhere. There was wine flowing. I don't think she knew how much Australians drank before she offered to pay the bill. Oops, that won't be happening again. But it was amazing. And I was able to sit there and really build a rapport with her, which I think benefits our country as well as specifically our team. She didn't give anything away, like about the TGA or anything, so that was kind of a bummer, but it was really a great conversation and relationship building time with her on that evening. Now, the next morning, I went to a leaders breakfast with our COO, Keith Jackson, whom I also speak to, as well as with Sharon, and then another Senior Ruby ambassador here in Australia. at the breakfast, I was able to ask a lot of the pertinent questions that were going on with our country, with our team, with Commonwealth Bank, let's be honest. And what's the solution? And we were able to come up with a few different ideas, solutions to some of the major problems. Like Commonwealth, we are looking to reach out to the owner, if that's the word, of Commonwealth. And Keith has said that he will have Tara be speaking to them as soon as we get the name to him. So the other things was how great our shipping is. Asking about welcome letters in our welcome packs. And they said, basically, why don't you just come to the international reception tonight and maybe most of these questions will be answered. So we didn't get tons of answers on that breakfast, but we did get a few. So then Sharon gave all of us special access to the Plexus store, so we didn't have to stand in the queue all day long. She also, we also got recognized by Tara, the CEO, during our main session. So had the Australians recognized, and I don't know if you guys saw I think I put it in Diamond Sisters, but most of us from the tour with Sonia Dudley and Tara, we were on that screen, guys. Like, it was our team picture as one of the main pictures for their Australian tour. So that's pretty cool. So then we went to the Australian reception. Now, you had to be from either Canada or Australia, and then I think there was only Amanda and another upline from Australian as well there. And the rest was just international and corporate. So we, at the reception, got a special gift. Oh, I didn't bring it in here. I'll grab it in a little bit. You have it?
I have mine. They had some extras, so they allowed the Americans to take one. But it's a very cool little base with a globe on it, and it says Plexus across the front. It's very cool.
Yeah, so that was very special. I think for those of us who had made that effort to be there for the international. Then
Janelle, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So you guys, keep in mind, we had the CEO, we had the president, we had the COO, we had the CMO. We had like all of the executive team, and there were only about 200 people in that room total. Yeah. The fact that the executive team is showing so much support and so much faith in the international community within Plexus is honestly, it's phenomenal. Think about that. Like, we got more access to those executives than the other 11,800 people that were there. Like, we got that access more so than anyone else that was at that convention. Yeah. And that they came up and they spoke individually to the international group. That is something that was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, I'm really fortunate that I was even able to attend, but it was so cool just to see them, to see their support, to see their faith, to see how much they want these international markets to be successful, especially Australia.
Yes. So, yeah, it was great. And it was good to like kind of catch up with Tarl and say hi to Alec, who definitely remembered me considering I hadn't seen him since October. So that was great. Then they did a lot of special announcements for us. They let us know that we will be having an Australian newsletter. The big thing I took home from the international meeting or reception was that Plexus has recognized that their communication with us has been lacking, that their desire of where we're at and telling us how things are going hasn't been up to par. So they've heard us and they're going to make a change. One of the changes would be a newsletter, therefore able to communicate what big changes, like a 25% shipping increase, are coming. They're also let you know about what leaders are ranking in the country. So when you go gold, when you go senior gold, when we go emerald, it will be in the newsletter to the whole country, letting them know. And I think that's great recognition for each of us. And it is important, not just our team to see it, but for the entire country to see, like, hey, it's so great that so-and-so has gone senior gold this month. Then they have also let us know that they are going to start country-specific to Australia training. Now, that to me makes me beyond happy. One, the training material that the jewels are getting is phenomenal. anything out of corporate will be great. And it's a blessing to us because it's going to be specific to our country. And I know, as much as I try to let everyone know and I try to learn everything, I don't necessarily know the ins and outs and every specific detail of what we can and cannot do in Australia. So having one thing specifically from corporate telling us what we can and can't do here makes it, everyone's on the same ground. Everyone understands and has that same level of expectation of what we can and can't do. So I'm personally really looking forward to the monthly training starting in August and can't wait because I really do think it'll be part of our growth, as the Jewels have even said that their growth has been huge since they've started their training this year. They also are giving Australia online live chat, which will be great. If we email them later in the night or message back and forth, they should be there. We did speak to Jeremy, the head of customer service, but about the hours, and they're going to look into it. I mean, someone would have to probably be there at midnight, 2 a.m. I think probably would be better for us. And they don't seem to have a lot of people wanting to do that. So they're going to have to find somebody. But what he did say is they will be looking at getting people either in there earlier or able to stay later for us. He isn't naive to the fact of the time difference. It's just finding those people who are able to work those hours. He did say very specifically that he was answering our Australian or AUS support at plexusworldwide.com email address first thing in the morning in hopes that it will get there and be kind of on the same day as when we send those. So if you're needing responses, of course, CC me in if you need to, but emailing the Oz support at plexusworldwide.com is our best option if you aren't able to ring. Then my favorite part is, as you guys know, the Americans all got these amazing success kits with their welcome packs. They are making an Australian success kit that is compliant, that Australian government is not going to have anything about and will not get us in trouble. So Plexus has really taken on board that we need something to help grow our business. Our new business builders and our new ambassadors need something to grow. So they're making one that protects us but still allows us to grow, and that will be coming out in the next few months. So I'm definitely looking forward to all of these changes because I really feel like a lot of my meetings that I spend with corporate, it's about these things. We need training. We need responses to our emails. We need acknowledgement. We need you guys to talk to us. And they've heard, and they're doing things to change it. And the fact that they announced these changes in a room of 200 means they're committed. It wasn't in a one-on-one meeting with me. It was in a room of 200 to hold them accountable. So don't worry, we're holding them accountable. So I had such an amazing time. They gave us free food. They recognized us. I was able to speak in front of the group as one of the leaders of Australia. And it was really just a nice night and made you, me at least, feel so special for having spent the time, the money, and effort to get to convention that they took the time, the money to make us be important within the Plexus community. So I definitely loved it and thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, I think it was, you guys, I know that every event, Janell, that you've been to, Leaders Retreat, now convention, that the executive team goes above and beyond to do what they can to show their support for Australia, to show their support for the international markets, and make sure that they realize, like, that they understand that, there's a little bit of a harder road, and they're doing whatever they can to help make that easier and help grow and support your businesses. And I think that that is so important, and something that, when they looked at the numbers, they talked about, about 2,900 people that are ambassadors within Australia. Guys, there are 437,000 ambassadors across the globe. Imagine they're investing time, effort, people, all of those things to make sure that the 2,900 people in Australia are as successful as possible. So just know that your executive team is there for you, that they are looking for different ways to help support that market, and they are absolutely going to be following through on these items over the next few months. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting to see what happens. I was telling Janell, I'm a little bit jealous because from a corporate perspective, there's not a lot of training that they actually provide to people here in the US unless you're a jewel level or above. And even that is like one-time training. We're not talking about something, they're talking about doing something on a regular basis. That's super exciting. So I might have to pretend that I'm in Australia for this time. So just so I can get the training too.
Awesome.
All right. So those were the main things that we wanted to share with you guys today. Are there any questions from folks on the phone? Everyone knows exactly what they want. So the big thing is that all of you need to be there next year. Start planning it. Start putting it on your calendar. It's usually around this exact same time every year. Don't know yet where we're going. We'll find out in October at Leaders Retreat. But first, we want to see you earn Leaders Retreat. We want to see you there. And then see you at convention next year. And just start putting on your schedule. Start working towards that. And I know that Janell and I are determined to be on that stage, recognized as a jewel. And I know that everyone on this call that listens to this later, you would not believe how many people we heard from that they were silvers last year and this year they were diamonds. Yeah. They were silvers last year and this year they were emeralds or sapphires, and they were walking that stage. One of the girls got up there. She said that, I read her thing afterwards, Tara Castaneda. She said that she actually was I think, senior gold last year. By this year, she was a diamond, and her husband was also a diamond. What? That's crazy, right? Like, you guys know how much the diamonds make. To think that they've been able to do that in a single year. They've been able to go to 2 diamonds in their family. That's amazing. And I think that every single one of you, every one of them will say, I'm not anything special, but I worked hard. I stayed focused on my business. I stayed committed to working this on a daily basis, and I'm doing it. And I've been able to be successful. So I know Janell and I are going to be there. We want all of you with us, because that is the part that I miss the most, is not having all of you there.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Anything else, Janelle?
No, I don't think so. I do want to say next American Monday at 9 p.m. Texas time. Was that Central? That's Central?
That's Central.
Central Monday, or Australia 12 p.m. Tuesday. We are having a special guest. Our upline Sapphire, Jamie Holbert, will be joining us next Tuesday, 12 o'clock, Monday night, 9 o'clock Central. Man, we got to get at the same time zone one of these days. So that will be a fabulous training to try and get your team on and for you to schedule around right now. She obviously is a Sapphire. She's doing something, and she's more than willing to have this training for us and share with us. So specifically for the Diamond Sisters team. So don't miss that one. So other than that, thanks y'all for joining us. And if you have any questions, if you guys want some help on working out your points, how to grow, where you're at to get to Leaders Retreat, reach out to Amanda and I, and let's break it down and let's figure out how to get you there. Because what is it? A goal without a plan is just a good time.
A dream.
A dream. Same difference. So make a plan. Let's all have a plan. Like your goals each month. But you need to have a plan of how you're going to get there. So, we love you guys, and we will see you next week.